All right, I don't know if this is big news, but we saw the tweet from Adam Schefter today where the Seahawks are saying they're not sure, essentially, that it's uncertain as to whether Marshawn Lynch is going to play this weekend. Game 1 of the NFL season against the Cardinals. Led everybody to speculate, oh my goodness, is this back problem worse than anybody anticipated? Is this gamesmanship on the part of the Seahawks and Pete Carroll? What do you think?
So, Marshawn does have a back issue. Back spasms that flared up in the before the game against Cleveland last year kept him out of the game. He's missed the past 2 weeks after his back tightened up following the only exhibition game he did play in, which was at Denver. That was the second exhibition game. That's real. What we don't know is if that's going to trickle into this week and affect his availability. I will say that the timing is suspicious. The fact that NFL teams are really, really circumspect about injuries leads you to believe that finding out Tuesday that a guy might not play Sunday, when the last indications from the coach were that he was going to be okay, I'm going to take it with a little grain of salt before we go to, it really looks like there's a serious likelihood that he won't play. It's a possibility, but it's going to be a possibility every game because Marshawn does have a back condition.
All right, well, let's go worst case scenario. All right, let's just go hypothetical. He's out this weekend. Robert Turbin is your backup. We saw a lot of them in the preseason. Now, it was preseason. You weren't seeing a full complement of as far as a defensive scheme to stop him or anything. Everything was very vanilla. He looked good, but how much of that was him? How much of that was just going up against defenses that aren't geared up to stop him? They don't know who he is, and they're just throwing the vanilla defense out there. What would we get out of him if worst case scenario, he's your guy?
Well, you did see, he was picked for this. He was not picked to be a short yardage specialist. He wasn't drafted to come in and be kind of a one-dimensional kind of player. He was picked to be someone that could come in and replace Marshawn, spell him every 3 or 4 series, get some carries. It's not, they drafted him with the idea that this is someone that would complement Lynch and provide a good backup. In fact, Mike Sando of the ESPN NFC West blog, after they picked him, it was a great comment. He asked Pete, how much was that Cleveland game in your mind when you picked Turbin? Because when Marshawn couldn't play that game, they really didn't have an alternative. You had Leon Washington, who was more of a special teams person, shiftier back. They had Justin Forsett. The situation's different this year, and I think Turbin is better suited. He's not going to be Marshawn Lynch, but I don't think you have a situation where you have to change your game plan dramatically if Lynch isn't available.
So worst case, if you've got Turbin, not that bad. You'd be all right, but Danny's calling BS on the whole thing, and Marshawn will play, according to Danny O'Neil.